Hi, gardening friends. Hey, today I want to talk about tomatoes. I started my tomatoes on the 7th of this month because I'm going to be grafting rootstock onto a lot of them. But I wanted to go over the varieties that I'm growing this year, maybe some of the reasons why I'm growing these varieties. And at the end, I'll let you take a look at where my seedlings stand at this point. I have about 24 varieties. Shouldn't say I have exactly 24 varieties that I'm growing this year. So I'm going to try to take you through those quickly and then let you see at the end where everything stands. Now, I start these off in sterile seed starting mix because I know I'm going to be potting these up into their own containers so that I can start grafting them probably next week. And I'll be doing a video on that as well. So here we go. I'm going to be starting off showing you some of the cherry tomato varieties. This first one is called Tim's Taste of Paradise. This is also developed by Wild Boar Farms. It is supposed to rival Sun Gold, only not split quite so easily. This is a new one for me this year, Supersweet 100s. I normally grow Sweet Million if I'm going for a red cherry, but I've heard great things about these, so I'm going to give these a try. Napa Chardonnay is probably one of my favorite tomatoes. I did not grow this last year, and I kind of missed it. It's a very light, delicate tomato that is wonderful just to snack on when you're in the garden. Now, Honey Drop is another one of those that was developed to fill the need for those who didn't want to grow Sun Gold anymore or were tired of it splitting. So Honey Drop does not split like Sun Gold. Blue Chocolate. This is a delicious tomato, again, developed by Brad Gates at Wild Boar Farms. Dark and sweet. This beauty, again from Wild Boar Farms, is Atomic Sunset. This is a new one for me also, but I love how it has kind of the purple shoulders. So I'm excited to see how that tastes. This is a family favorite. I will always grow these in my garden. My son-in-law's name happens to be Brad, and the tomatoes are incredibly delicious. So, Evil Olive. Now I am growing these this year because these are supposed to be able to be used in place of tomatillos. And if any of you have grown tomatillos, you know how invasive that plant is. So I'll give that a try. Kryptonite. Honestly, I'm trying this one because I thought the name was wonderful. And they look like absolutely gorgeous tomatoes. So I'll let you know. Black Strawberry. This was a favorite from last year. This is a new offering just in the last year or two. Lovely, rich tomato flavor. I think it will always be in my garden. Queen of the Night. This is a new variety for me. And we're kind of moving into the larger, I'm going to call them larger cherries, like a saladette kind of tomato. Anxious to see how these taste. Atomic Fusion is supposed to be, or I should say is, a larger version of Brad's Atomic Grape. So I'm very excited to see that we can get a bigger tomato. Longhorn is a beautiful heart-shaped tomato. I think you'll notice as we're going into these bigger tomatoes, I love a dark tomato. They are just so delicious. This is a brand new one for me. This is Gloria's Treat. This was sent to me by Claire from Growing Plotty. I will put her channel below. She's just lovely, and I'm anxious to try this one. Purple Heart Dwarf. I love a dwarf tomato because it gives me more opportunity to grow more tomatoes because they don't need to be in a place of staking, but this is probably my favorite dwarf tomato. Chocolate Champion Dwarf was another one that I've grown that has just delicious. And as you can see, it's a darker tomato, so it has those lovely smoky undertones. Chef's Choice Black. This is my first year trying this one. The Chef's Choice series are supposed to be just spectacular tomatoes, so I'm giving the black one a try first. Mikado Black, another favorite from last year. Very rich, does not have a lot of seeds, so it's a wonderful backup if you'd like to make sauce from it. Black Beauty, exactly how it sounds. These are probably the darkest tomatoes I've ever grown. They're wonderful. They're full of anthocyanins and delicious. Purple Rain, another crowd favorite here. Very little seed pockets, so it makes a very dense but delicious tomato. Paul Robeson, definitely one of the ones I'm grafting this year. Find that because it's an heirloom, it doesn't always produce as well as I'd like. So I'm going to be putting this one on some F1 stock. This also is a new one for me. Ananas Noir, which I think is also called Black Pineapple. I just thought it looked kind of cool. So I have no idea how it tastes, but we're going to find out. Abraham Lincoln, another one sent to me from Claire. This is definitely a United States tomato, but I've never grown it before. So I'm anxious to see how that tastes. And lastly, one of my favorites from last year, the orange accordion. A delicious flavor. What a unique looking tomato, but what a delicious one as well. Now, these tomatoes were sown on March 7th, so they're officially 2 weeks old today. I'm going to give you a look at what they look like. We had some great germination. I think I've got plenty here, but the beauty of tomatoes is this is only 2 weeks growth. Even if there's some that I need to reseed again, I'm 2 weeks out from having a pretty nice little seedling. So there is no rush with tomatoes because they grow so fast. You obviously don't want to wait till July, but tomatoes will catch up. So here's what you can expect in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be potting up our rootstock so that they can get settled in their new home before we slice and dice and attach them to some of our other tomatoes. And then we will do a full grafting video, so you know what you need to graft, how to do it, and this is how I do it. There are, I'm sure, many ways to graft, but I'll show you how I graft and how I've had success. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very soon. This is Audrey from Real Food Comes Dirty. Take care.